use this for energy and calm every day. And guess what? You're already doing it. But before we talk about that today, let's talk about the SOAP framework. We are going through the SOAP framework. I'm doing it every month this year as part of this year's annual challenge. And I think I've done it since 2020, at least every other month during the pandemic, to keep myself moving forward, getting up and going. When everything was changed and shut down and different than it usually is, that's when we want to consciously move in the direction we want our life to go, not just stop. And a lot of people just stopped during that time period and didn't really advance or progress, or lost ground in terms of their career, their businesses, etc. We don't want to be that way. We want to always be continually improving. Why? Because it's a core value of mine. If we're not expanding and growing and getting better and being more positive and making the world a better place, guess what? We're automatically doing the opposite. So we're on step 3 of the SOAP framework today, which is A for action. Take action. So 2 days ago, we defined what our situation is and what we want it to be, which created a gap that we're filling with the rest of the SOAP framework. And before we can take action on something, we brainstormed yesterday at least 10, I hope you came up with at least 10 possible ways to start filling the gap between where you are and where you want to be. I did, and I'm hoping you did too, because today we're going to take those 10 things, and we're going to choose the top 3, the 3 that we're most likely to act on today. And we're going to analyze them based on the head, heart, and intuition scale. We're going to rate each one. It's up to you if you want to go high or low. I usually go the one I like the most with the highest number. So when I add the numbers up, it's easy to tell which is the absolute winner and the thing I'm going to act on today. So you would give your number 1, the thing you like the most, the option you like the most points. For how does it make you feel? How does it make you think? And what does your gut tell you about it? What does your heart tell you about it? So this is just my fun way of looking at things, because I've learned from past experiences, good and bad, and they're all relative, right? What's bad at the time turns out to be some of the best things that ever happened to us. I've learned by trial and error, which is AKA the hard way, that when I don't listen to one of these 3 and take them into account when I'm making a decision, it usually is not the right decision for me. Sometimes I get lucky and it is, or I think I'm smart, but it's not usually the case. It's just I got lucky and it worked out. But for the most part, big things in my life I have found, and it's usually my intuition that I ignore. It's usually my gut that I just shut down in the most important times and the most important decisions, that has come back to haunt me and bite me. I'll share stories about that along the way. I think I've shared some of them, but I'll continue to share them. Not all at once, though, because I talk too much. So that is our action item for action for the SOAP framework today. Remember, during the SOAP framework and during the Super framework, we're going to double up and we're going to do 2 things in one day. I know you can do it. I really do. So what is this thing that we already do that if we use it, it can help us get both more energy and more calm? Now, I don't know about you, but I'm always looking for more energy. I'm also, not always, but should be looking for more calm and less chaos in my life. Excuse me, still got the cough and cold. I should have taken a cough probe, but I didn't. I thought, oh, I don't need one. And apparently my throat and my sinuses and my nose believe differently. Okay, so what is this thing? This thing is breath work. Now, we're already breathing, right? We start breathing as soon as we come out of the womb, as soon as we're born, and hopefully we don't stop breathing until we decide that it's our last day on planet Earth. Well, it turns out, and I will admit, I didn't really know much about this or even pay attention to it, except maybe when I was running. I ran for a few years. I was a runner for a couple of years, a very slow runner. I'm 5'1.5". You don't run very fast with short legs. But I did it for health and for me. So when I ran, that is probably the only time in my life I ever really thought about breathing. And I never thought about breathing as breath work until after my sudden cardiac arrest, when I knew that I had to make massive lifestyle changes. And one of those was actually looking for different modalities and learning about things that would help me to be a calmer, less chaotic, less stressed out, less burned out type A person so that I could continue to live and be here on planet Earth, serving people and those I love and care about especially, and just doing the things that I actually am here to do. We all have things and missions, little missions that we're all here to accomplish on planet Earth. Whether you believe that or not is up to you. If you don't think you do and you have no purpose, then you'll struggle looking for your purpose like I did for decades. But now I know what it is. And that is to just be the best possible version of me and set an example for other people that they can do the same thing. So mastering our breath allows us to master our state. What the heck's our state? Our state meaning our emotional state. Our emotions are kind of automatic. Based on the things that happen around us and to us and through us and everything, we act emotionally, instinctually. We just can't stop it. You cannot turn off your emotions. I suppose some people can, and I don't believe in can, but for the most part, we are emotional beings first and foremost. We are feeling beings. That's what keeps us safe. That's what helps us to survive on the planet. So that is so core to all of us. There's not really much we can do to prevent that, but we can use things to give ourselves a little bit of a pause before reacting. So managing our state is probably one of the best things we can do, learning how to manage our state. I was in a situation yesterday where there was a big announcement in an organization I'm a part of, and it was really interesting to kind of step back and pay attention to my own reaction to it, but then also watch other people's reactions to this new thing. Now, it's really an awesome new thing, but just like anything, people will pick sides and take sides and pick apart. And it was amazing to see all of the naysayers and negative people come out of the woodwork and spout off and ask questions and be doubtful, worried, and fearful. And then the other side of it was people saying, oh my God, this is the best thing since sliced bread. Don't you get it? And so it happens every single day if we look for it. But what we really want to pay attention to is how are we reacting and responding? And the fastest, easiest way to change our state, get more energy, or to calm down in a difficult situation is by paying attention to and focusing on our breath. Why? Because it brings us into the present moment. If you are focusing on your breath, everything else falls by the wayside because our brains can really only concentrate on one thing at a time on a conscious level. Subconsciously, there's all kinds of things going on simultaneously. And thank you, subconscious, for that, for keeping us alive, breathing, safe, etc. Swallowing, blinking, all the things we need to do without thinking about. But we want to master our breath. And there's a lot of different ways to do it. You can now look up breathwork on the internet or ask your AI these days, and you will get tons of different breathing techniques. Go ahead, ask AI, what are the top 10 breathing techniques for energy? What are the top 10 breathing techniques for calm? And interestingly enough, the same list will probably come up. I haven't done that. Maybe I'll do that this afternoon. But you can find them everywhere. Information is everywhere. With AI, we are in an age of having to filter out and only let in what's most important to us because there's so much it would otherwise overwhelm. I don't know, it overwhelmed me. So what do we want to do? We want to look at different techniques for, and I'll share a couple, calming down and for then increasing our energy. Excuse me. Most people breathe really shallowly. They breathe in their chest. They don't actually consciously breathe all the way down to the bottom of their diaphragm and fill their lungs up. And that's something that we want to do when we want to calm down. Also, when we want energy. When you're running, you don't breathe shallowly in your chest. You breathe deep breaths. I usually count when I'm running. I count inhaling and exhaling and holding. That's, a lot of people call it box breathing. When you breathe for a certain count on the inhale, exhale, pause, etc. So there's the 4x4x4x4 box breathing technique. That one's really good for energy, for diaphragmatic breathing, etc., and breathing for stress. So if I'm stressed out, if I'm in a situation where I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to say, guess what I'll do? I'll do a 4x4x4x4 breath to buy myself time to respond. the worst thing we can do as leaders and as humans in most situations is respond, or just not respond, but react without considering before we respond. I think that's a better way of presenting it. Our breath is the fastest way to change our physiology. People can argue with me about that, but it's the fastest way to change our physiology and our mental state because it brings us into the present moment. It's why many meditations focus on breathing, because it centers us and brings us back to ourself, which is what breathing is all about. It's what sustains us. And so we want to make sure that we're really good at it and that we're using it in a way that serves us. I don't know about you, but whenever I'm given bad news, the first thing I do is I take a deep breath, I count to 10, and then if I need to, I take another couple of deep breaths and count to 10 on each one. And then that gives me the opportunity to respond instead of reacting irrationally, because chances are when something upsets us, we react irrationally without thinking everything through. So what are we going to practice today? I challenge you to practice and look up 3 different breathing techniques. So while you're taking action, you can look up breathing techniques and practice them. Maybe one of the things that you want to take action on is a little bit outside your comfort zone. And so instead of being afraid of it, you can breathe your way through it. I highly recommend it. You can ask yourself different questions. How deeply do I breathe? Do I ever pay any attention to my breath? Like I said, before 2010, only time I paid attention to my breath probably was when I was a runner for a few years. Otherwise, not so much. How does intentional breathing change your energy and change the way you feel? You want to know how different things impact you. It doesn't matter how it impacts me. I do what works for me. You are the only one that can determine what works for you. Test things out, tweak them, and make them your own. With everything I say and anybody else who says anything to you ever, the wisest person, the wisest thing for you is right in between your 2 ears. And that is your own mind, your own thinking, your own superconscious, your own brain is the wisest thing that you have access to. Tap into it a little more often. Let's do it. All right. Any questions about this? Oh, for engagement, just share. Have you tried breath work? When did you first hear about breath work? What's your favorite breath work practice? Share that in the comments below so we can learn from one another. I will think about mine. I've got a lot of them. I have a whole toolbox of them that I use in different situations because I've tested them and I found, well, if I do 777 breathing in this situation, it helps to get me to a deeper level of peace so I can go to sleep, I can meditate, I can do deep thinking, etc. Or if I'm stressed out, I'll do the 4x4x4x4 box breathing to buy myself some time before I respond. And that's what you'll figure out. You'll figure out what works for me, what doesn't. We're going to all continue to breathe. So why not make breathing something that gives us more than just sustained life? I challenge you to do it today. All right. Any questions? Hit me up and ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day. And I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.